Why the same photograph means different things to different people. There is something unusual about photography that no other art form shares in the same way. A single image can exist in multiple meanings at once. Not because the photograph changes, but because the viewer changes. Two people can look at the same photograph and see completely different things. One may see beauty, another may see discomfort, one may see art, another may see something entirely different, and neither of them is necessarily wrong. This is because a photograph does not carry a fixed meaning on its own. It carries context, and context is created inside the viewer's mind. It is shaped by personal experience, by culture, by memory, and by expectations. This means that every photograph is incomplete on its own. It only becomes fully understood when someone interprets it, but interpretation is never neutral. People bring their own emotional history into what they see. A person's past experiences can completely change how they respond to the same image. What feels calm to one viewer may feel intense to another. What feels artistic to one viewer may feel uncomfortable to someone else. This is not a flaw in photography. It is part of its nature. Because photography does not speak in a fixed language, it speaks in visual suggestion, and suggestion is always open to interpretation. This is why photographers often feel a gap between intention and reaction. What they meant to express, and what people actually perceive, are not always aligned. And this gap is one of the most interesting parts of visual art. Because it reveals that meaning is not fully controlled by the creator. It is shared between creator and viewer. Another important factor is culture. Different cultures interpret visual information differently. Body language, composition, symbolism, and even lighting can carry different emotional associations depending on cultural background. This means a photograph is never universal in meaning. It travels through different minds and becomes slightly different each time. And social media makes this even more complex. Because images no longer exist in controlled environments like galleries or books. They appear instantly in different contexts, mixed with unrelated content, seen without explanation, and judged within seconds. In that environment, meaning becomes even more unstable. Sometimes the caption influences interpretation more than the image itself. Sometimes there is no context at all, and the viewer fills in the gaps on their own. This is why misunderstandings in photography are so common. Not because the image is unclear, but because interpretation is always personal. So instead of asking what a photograph means, a more accurate question might be, what does this photograph become in the mind of each viewer? Because meaning is not located inside the image alone, it is created in the interaction between image and observer. And that is what makes photography both powerful and unpredictable.